Hello, I'm Kristen from Kristen Kane Style. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm a style and mindset coach, and I help women who are sick and tired of struggling with their style, who want to create a wardrobe that they absolutely love wearing, but just aren't sure exactly how to do it. Or maybe they're even sure how to do it, but they just aren't doing it. And so I get to step in and I get to help them figure out what's holding them back, what limiting beliefs and kind of mindset issues are getting in the way of them creating a wardrobe they really truly love. And then we get to work actually editing and usually working mostly with what they have. Occasionally there are some pieces that they might want to consider purchasing, but learning to create outfits with what they have based on the newly defined style that we have identified, and just letting them run with it. My greatest, greatest joy is when a client no longer needs me because they have figured it out with my help and they can just run with it. I want you to be able to get dressed and enjoy getting dressed and feel and look amazing when you get into your clothing, and then just go enjoy your life. Great style shouldn't be complicated or expensive. It should get to a point where it is effortless, but there is a little effort up front, and that's where I come in. That's what I help women do. So I also show up here every Friday to offer those same kind of tips and suggestions that I work with my clients when I work one-on-one. And I'm also on Instagram. So if you are not ready or are not interested in actually working with me as your style coach, I am here in that capacity as your style coach. So thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk about thrifting. I have several thrifting kind of haul videos, which I'm too old to use that term, I think, but I have several videos where I have shared the amazing thrifting finds that I have been lucky enough to stumble upon recently. This cream sweater is one of those thrifting finds. It's not that I didn't like thrifting before, I just didn't really understand how incredible the selection is and what is really out there. And I guess I have a different feeling about the planet and sustainability and all of that now than I did when I was younger. And I'm way behind my kids who are younger, but who have adopted the idea of thrifting and shopping secondhand way before I did. So anyway, today I want to talk about thrifting. I want to share kind of 8 tips for making thrifting successful for kind of heading into a thrifting trip with some things in mind that will hopefully help you find things that are really going to be assets in your wardrobe. So number 1 is to go with an intention. Really get clear on your mindset. Go with the idea that you are going to find exactly the right thing, because I really think, my kids and I now kind of have fun with this. I really believe that there is something to be said for putting your intention out there in any area of life, but definitely when you thrift, because there's kind of this thrifting vibe that sort of, I think, leads you to just the right thing. So get clear on kind of what you're after and go in with the belief that you're going to find it. And then the second thing would be to narrow down your search. If you just walk into a thrift shop without a plan of what you actually want, without having narrowed it down to a couple of items that you're actually looking for, it can be really overwhelming. There is often a ton of merchandise. Some stores, the higher end kind of consignment shops do a really good job of editing and curating and creating a boutique feel. But oftentimes in your basic thrift store, there is just a bunch of merchandise, and usually it's arranged by color, but sometimes it's not even arranged by color. It's not arranged by size usually. It's just a big mishmash of a lot of merchandise. And so it can be really overwhelming, even just from a sensory standpoint, to walk in and see all of that. So if you don't have a clear idea of what you're looking for, you can kind of just want to turn at the door and run back to your car, because it can be a little much. So I like to go with some specific pieces in mind and know kind of what I'm looking for. With regards to that, the pieces that I think are easiest to buy secondhand are certainly sweaters. Sweaters and shoes and accessories and coats or blazers. Those are kind of the things that I feel like they're easy to try on, even with your, fully dressed. They're easy to try on. They usually hold up pretty well, and they are usually pieces that we can use in our wardrobe. So whether it's a necklace or a scarf or a hat or a pair of shoes, you can usually try those pieces on without a lot of effort, even if the fitting rooms are closed like they have been for so long through the pandemic. And all thrift shops have them, so you're guaranteed a spot to kind of dig through. but it helps you narrow it down. Now, your pieces might not be sweaters and shoes and accessories and coats and blazers. You might be going looking for blouses or going looking for skirts. Whatever your thing is, just narrow it down so that you're not just walking in and going to look in every single rack and be totally overwhelmed by that. When you shop for pants, if the fitting rooms are closed, certainly that can be a little bit of a hiccup when you're trying to purchase pants. So I think one of the best tips if you're a woman is to wear either a dress or a skirt so that you can literally stand in the corner near a mirror and pull the pants on under your dress or skirt, and then kind of pull the skirt or the dress up carefully so that you can see the pants and know how they feel and how they fit. I know some people wear leggings, with like a long sweater to go thrifting so that they can put the pants over the leggings, understanding that they're building in a little bit of bulk with the leggings and taking that into consideration when they're looking for the size. I have recently learned, it's kind of surprising that it's taken me this long, but I have recently learned about the waistband trick around your neck. So I'm not going to exactly explain it very well here, because if you Google it, there are lots of YouTube videos that explain what it is. But essentially, if you button the waistband of a pair of pants so that you've got the button buttoned, I guess zipped also, and you've got the waistband. I've done this now with jeans on 2 occasions, and both times it has worked. I did not try the jeans on in the store, and when I got them home, they actually did fit. So the length and the rise of the rise and the zipper length and all of that, you can pretty much eyeball and hold up to yourself in a mirror and get an idea of if the pants are going to fit from being the right rise and being the right length in the leg standpoint. But the waist can be a little tough, and so the waistband trick is to take the waistband, button it, zip it, have the waistband, and then put it around your neck, like literally hold end to end, both ends of the waistband, like where your hips would be, and throw the pants over your back, and then wrap the waistband around your neck. And if it overlaps, if you have too much waistband and it overlaps, then the pants will likely be too big in the waist. If the edges of the waistband don't actually even meet on the front of your neck, the pants will be too small around the waist. And if they kind of just touch or maybe just overlap a little, that's probably what you're looking for. Again, I have not used this very often, but the 2 times that I have used it recently and made the purchase, one was the Levi's that I bought. I did not try them on. I have a new to me, pair of vintage, resale Levi's, and I did not try them on in the store because the fitting rooms were not open. So that is how I found them. And when I put them on, I was very pleasantly surprised that trick had worked. So I think that also the waist, unless the pants have been altered, certainly there are exceptions to the rule, but I think that kind of the waist through the seat, that area is, indicative of whether, if it fits around your waist, if it fits around your neck, it can lead, they correlate, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So as I said, look it up on your own, because there are lots of people who explain it way better than I do. But if you're stuck with how do I try on pants, or I can't try on pants, how do I know if the pants are going to fit, the waistband trick can work. And so that, is kind of my thought on that. So you're narrowing down your search. And number 3 is that you want to know your color palette going in. Like I said a minute ago, usually resale shops are arranged by color because they only have one piece of, one of every piece. And so they can't arrange, all the pieces together. So instead they're arranging all the colors together, kind of all mixed, in. So they'll usually start at white and go through pale pink and go to hot pink and go to red and, kind of like the rainbow. And so if you know what color you're looking for, then you can, easily hone in on the colors you want to shop for and not have to look at the others. So I don't wear yellow and I don't wear brown. So I don't even have to look at the yellow and the brown if I'm shopping for myself when I go resale shopping. I always look at cream. I always look at navy. I look at gray. I sometimes look at black. I don't wear as much black as I used to, and I don't really need anything black. So right now I'm not looking for much that's black, but if I, I could easily do that. Same with blazers and coats. They're usually arranged by color, so you can easily kind of zero in on exactly the color you want to look at, but go with your color palette in mind so you're not coming home with some rogue piece that's a color that doesn't go with anything in your wardrobe. The next thing, number 4, is to check for damage. So you want to check for anything that can't be repaired. So if it's got a tear, my boys buy pants all the time that have giant holes in them, and then they repair them themselves. And so if it's a repair that you're willing to do or that you can do, no problem. Or if it's something that you would have altered, no problem. But if not, you don't really, unless you're after this, you don't want bleach stains. You don't want things that are so pilled or the fabric is just kind of seen better days. Certainly there are depillers. I use a great one from Conair that you can, fuzz off, shave off the sweater fuzz. That's the action for shaving off the sweater fuzz. You can shave off the sweater fuzz pretty easily. So there are things that you can repair on your own with little effort. But if there are stains under the arms or bleach stains specifically, most stains I find will come out with Dawn dishwashing detergent. Grease stains and, kind of stains that have been baked in and dried in. I'm usually pretty lucky with getting stains out, because I think oftentimes people donate things that they haven't taken the time to wash, or that has a stain that they haven't worked very hard to get out. So stains aren't a deal breaker for me, but pay attention to what kind of stains they are. So, and you want to check, does it really smell? Sometimes they do a lot of Febreze spraying at resale stores. And I've found that white vinegar in the washing machine will help to counter that, or just putting it outside in the sun for a while usually kind of gets rid of that really strong Febreze smell. But if it has a real smoky smell or a musty smell, just pay attention to that. So check for damage, because you don't want to bring home something and waste money on something, even if it's a few bucks. You don't want to waste money on something that you're going to get home and actually have to donate to your local, resale or Goodwill, because it's not actually going to work for you. And then the next one, number 5, would be to try it on. Get in the piece if possible. If it's a sweater or a jacket or a belt, something you can actually put on if it allows, without the fitting rooms being open, so that without having to get it home if it's actually going to work. Now, sometimes you can eyeball things. This sweater I did not try on. I knew it was a cardigan. I knew it was a brand that was in a size that I could wear, so I didn't even try it on. I knew I wanted it. But if if there's something that you're not sure about, make sure you try it on, because usually the sales are final and you can't return it. And so you don't want it. It's only a great deal if you get it home and you actually want to wear it. Otherwise, it's just wasted time and money. The other thing when you're trying it on is, do you love it? I like at this point to kind of, trick myself and ask myself, would I pay full retail price for it? Like, if it were brand new, would I pay what it probably cost brand new? Like, do I love it that much? And certainly when you're spending, $5 or $6 on a sweater versus 20 or 30 or 50 or 100, there's a different investment, obviously, and there's a different mental investment that comes along with it, because that you're not really spending a lot of money on it. But I like to be pretty discerning and really test myself, would I spend full price on it? Because if you wouldn't spend full price on it, then ask yourself, is it just the price you're attracted to? Or do you actually really love the garment and you're thrilled that you found it at, this great price, but you maybe don't need it that much that you would have paid full price? Or, it gets a little tricky. So try to ask yourself those questions and really get clear on why you're bringing it into your wardrobe, because likely you don't just need more clothing, so it should earn its place. Let's see. Number 6, you want to go with your wardrobe in mind. So you don't want to, like I said a second ago about buying rogue, you don't want to bring home pieces that have no business in your wardrobe. So not just with regards to your color palette, but you want to kind of use that age-old question of, are there 3 to 5 ways I could wear it, with clothing I already own? Like, that isn't something I usually ask my clients specifically, but it is a good point. When you get this garment home, do you already have the pieces that you need to wear it with? Because if not, then you likely have a situation where now you have this great sweater, but you need to buy new jeans and new boots and a new belt and whatever in order to make it into an outfit. And that's not sustainable and not really what you're after. That isn't what the goal is of this, shopping trip. So I think that you want to make sure that you can wear it with things that you already own, so that it's a piece that's going to have a place in your closet that it deserves, that, it's worthy of bringing in, because you don't need more stuff. And then number 7 is to go with an open mind. So I did say to set an intention, and I truly believe that. And at the same time, I think you have to, or you're better served if you go with the idea that the universe could surprise you. Like, you could stumble upon a gem that you were not even realizing you were interested in. And I have a very good example of that, and it is a black cashmere coat. So when I was thrifting with my daughter a few months ago, I found a black cashmere coat, and the moment I touched it, I thought, oh my gosh, this coat is amazing. This fabric is amazing. And then I looked more closely at it, and it's fully reversible. It's fully lined in silk. So the lining, the inside of the coat, which can also be the outside of the coat and looks a bit like an evening coat. The inside of the coat is silk. The outside of the coat is cashmere. I dug in the pocket and, found the label. It was a few sizes too big for me. And it was 100% cashmere, 100% silk. Like, I could confirm that. I knew it from touching it, how amazing it felt. I did not need a black coat specifically, but it's really lightweight. So I sometimes have a problem with wool or wool-like coats being too heavy on me. In addition to, wool coats usually itch me around the neck or around the cuffs. And so I don't have a wool coat in my wardrobe right now. So this cashmere coat was calling my name. It was $5.99. I brought it home, hadn't had it in my closet for a while, did a little legwork to find a tailor who I trusted to really give me a quote on rebuilding it so that it would fit me, because it was too big through the shoulders and just a little bit sloppy. I spent some money to have it remade, and it is incredible. Just incredible. And I still, every time I put it on, I'm sort of giddy that it found me and I found it. So I did not go in that day looking for a coat of any kind, outerwear at all. That was not what I was after. But I was pleasantly surprised that I found it on the rack, I touched it, and I knew that it should come home with me. So be open to surprising yourself with something that kind of calls your name. Along that same lines, number 8 is pay attention to the energy. So everything is energy. All the clothing that is in a resale store holds energy. I have talked with clients of mine who are empaths, who really, truly feel the energy when they walk into a space like that, because all of that clothing holds a story. And so if that's you, pay attention to that. Even if that's not you, pay attention to your gut feeling. If you put on a sweater and everything about the sweater is kind of what you would think you would like in your wardrobe, but you just kind of don't have a good feeling about it, leave it. Energetically, it's just probably not supposed to be your sweater. And the same is true for if you put a piece on. Like, I put that coat on and it was way too big for me, and I really had no logical, rational reason for buying it and bringing it home other than it was well within my budget and I knew the fabric was amazing and really high quality, so it was worth giving a shot. But I paid attention to the energy, and that coat just felt like it was supposed to be mine. And now that it fits me perfectly, I truly light up every time I put it on. So if it feels like and doesn't feel good, even if it's a piece that looks okay, pay attention to that. And if your gut and your intuition says leave it, then leave it. And if it lights you up, then make sure you put it in your cart and get to the checkout and buy it, take it home, wash it, and enjoy it. Those are my tips for thrifting. I am always open to hearing new tips. So if people have new ideas for me or old ideas that I just haven't heard yet, please drop them in the comments, because I am enjoying this whole thrifting journey, and really, welcome the treasures that are out there available secondhand. I am on Instagram every Tuesday at noon Mountain Time doing a style Q&A live. So if you have a question, you can drop that in the comments, or you can come over to Instagram and ask me by DM, or I post a question box every Monday so that you can type in your question and then I answer it on Tuesday. Anything and all things style. And I upload I save the replay. And so those all live on my Instagram, and in the captions, I type out each question that is asked each week. So you can literally go back through, and if there's a question that appeals to you, if you don't want to watch all of them, if there's a question that appeals to you, you can get the answer in that episode. I'll be back next Friday with a video here. If there's anything I can do to help you specifically with your style, just let me know. All the information on Style Therapy, which are my one-on-one packages, all that information is down below in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next week. Bye.